Okay, so we're back again. Not quite sure what happened there. It's going to be sent out in 2 videos by the looks of it. Okay, so all I've done, because I didn't realise it had stopped, all I've done is I've just darkened the furthest underneath those light bits, again, like I said, so that we can give it a chance to get the brightness on those leaves. Right, okay, so I'm going to now start to put some of the tree tops in there, and we're looking at darks. There's a little bit of light, but we've got some lovely sky holes in coming through there. So I'm just going to start with, I'm going to put some of those branches in that we've got. Okay, so I'm just going to start with the darkest edge, and I don't like that colour. This colour's better. Right, okay, so there's one that comes from a tree somewhere over here, and it really just arches over the road. Again, I don't want to make it a replica of the picture. I'm just doing my interpretation. So but I just want to block some of this in now. Like I say, we're going to pull some of this blue out in between there. Some of these branches I just need to pull across. Not many branches at the back there. It's really dark at the top. Don't forget, the focus of this picture is that scene there, so I don't really want to be spending too much, or not spending too much time, but concentrating on detail, should we say, on these, but just to make them look like they are trees. These this side, I do believe they were deciduous, and these were pines on the left, so I'll reflect that. I don't want to make that too dark there. Okay, just want to give a feel of the trees on this side. I'm not too worried about this side either. I may even trim this picture down, which I sometimes do. If I find it lends itself to being a bit narrower or a bit shorter, I will trim it off. Right, okay. There's just a few branches leading the way through there. Again, they've got to be thin at the end. Right, so I don't want to do too much there now on branches. Right, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to move to the dark greens. So this is the green that I've used for the undertone. I'm trying to keep the picture in balance. Obviously a limited palette, and we've talked about limited palettes if you've been watching me. So just going to get this green in a little bit more, what we had before. And now you'll see we've got, sticking to the shapes. When you look, they're not leaves as in dots. They're very much arching, just branches over those leaves, over those branches. I want to try and keep that. And I'm going to come back all in there. That's going to look absolutely, I can't wait to do that. So hold back, Mel, hold back. Don't do it. Okay. We got some of these greens in there. Now we've got lots of different greens, but I just want to make a statement with a little bit different. I don't like just one green on. Leaves aren't just one colour. They're quite a few colours. Okay, there's not much leaf down the bottom there because they're pines, and there is at the there, but I want that to be a different colour. So this bit here will make sense when I get some of those skies in. There's not much in the way of leaves around there either. They're branches, apart from in between. Right, okay. Now, there's just a little bit here that's a little bit of a brighter green. And I just want to pick it up. I don't particularly want to harp on it, but I just want to pick it up. That it's actually there. It's a lovely bright green. Not too worried about. Right. Not coming on. Why is it not working? Right. Okay, that's better. So there's just little bits of that green just poking through. And on those leaves there in the centre. Again, I'm leaving it so that we can see through, and we'll pick up these lovely yellows in a minute. Right, okay. So just take stock, look back and think, right, have we captured everything we want to capture? Are we focusing on the right things? Have we got the sunshine in the right place? Shadows, darkness. Right, that's a good base for the details that we're going to be doing. Okay, so you can see it looks like what it's going to look like in the end. So we've got this tunnel sort of looking thing, and it's there. So you just take stock every now and again. It's good to just, you know, stand back and watch what's happening. If something you don't like at this stage, then we can change it. We can change it as we go along. It's you see, I can already see there's one thing that I've not captured that I really wanted to, and that's this banking. This banking is really steep just there. I've not really captured that there, but we can pick that up. All right, but I'm aware of it. So, okay, right then. So, let's just get some more, or should we say, let's just, I'm just going to unify those greens at the top. Just gonna, I want a darker green. That's the way. Right, so I'm starting to put some little shapes in there, not a lot. We're still not, we're nearly at detail stage. But I just want to make more sense of these shapes that we've done up here. Not too worried about. We've got some nice sunshine on there actually, but again, that's down to the detail, so we'll pick that up as long as this base is right. I'm not too worried. So I'm starting to do like little figure eights up there just to break up those big spaces. So this start to look like uniformed. Well, not uniform, but they look like a bunch of leaves, for want of another word. Okay, so right, I'm not worried about that. We're going to pick some air holes up in a minute. I'm going to blow you away. I like to do that. The exciting bits. This is where, you know, you think, oh my word, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. You've got to trust what you're doing. Okay, right. I'm happy with that. I'm not going to do much more for that. There may be a little bit more there. I think there's quite a bit of orange still coming through there. Right, okay. So let's look at, I'm going to do that first before I forget. I just want to raise this bank because I'm losing it. And you can come in front of the trees. Remember, we froze this, so I can now go on top of that tree with the lighter colour. Easy, and it doesn't mix and merge. Now, on the side of some of these trees, get a sharp bit of your pastel. On the side of these trees, there is some sunshine. Right, that may be a little bit dark. Well, that's not a problem. Take that back off again. Better. Right, so just going to go back into that one with the dark. Like I say, they're very forgiving. You get something wrong, good to see that how I put it right. Build that back in again. There we go. Right, how far up do they go? Well, you can't see them because the trees are the hit and miss when you get to the top, which is a good detail to do. Because you've got branches, the sunshine don't get through to everything. Right. Now there's a real lightness on that corner, which is nearly, it is very, very light down here, and really brings out the sunshine hitting the, come down there, and it hits that shadow that goes over the road. So we'll pick that bit up. Fine. Now what I'm going to do is the real, let's get some of this, of these leaves, just pick them out there. Just little dots, that's all I'm doing. There's a very pale green as well, but I'm just putting in the yellows for a minute. Some of these yellows on. Let's get a corner. And on the bottom of these. Nice sunshine happening. Not so much on there, just a little light of that. Okay. Now then, this colour through here. Just pulling the sunshine through. And I want to make it a very pale green. So this might not even be pale enough, so I may have to pull on another set. But along with that yellow there is green, but the sun is actually changing all the leaves to a yellowy colour in the evening sun anyway, so we'll just follow through that because it is very green in there. Very sunshiny. Right, there's some real lights coming through. There. And then I've got some really nice. Now I'm just going to darken. I'm quite happy with that actually. I just want a little bit in the centre there of real sense of depth is what I'm after. So in the centre there is a little bit of real dark because it's thick trees there. So I'm just going to knock it into the pastel there. Okay. And it just gives me that depth I'm looking for. Right. Knock it back so that we've got, that's better. Make it move. You've got a fair amount of layers on there, even though we've frozen the background, so it will move pretty fluid. Right, okay, so we've got this. I've got some of that yellow there. Let's try the yellow. Right, where I'm going with this is these are the little low branches on trees that the sun is just really hitting And this is the bit that I stopped on the bike, much to Dave's annoyance. And I keep stopping because I took loads of pictures on that ride because the sun was just right. I'm afraid you get sunshine, you get me, and you get me stopping. And there's nothing going to stop me stopping unless the sun goes in. Right, okay, so just pull it through. Branches. It's there as well. Okay. I'm going to start building up these trees, these leaves. Now, as well as doing this, I can't wait to do this next bit, because this next bit is all about the air holes. It's really, you've got to be careful when you say that. Air holes are excellent. I just can't wait to do them. But we'll be doing them. 2 seconds. Let me just finish this tree. I promise. We'll get on to that. I'm just going to do a little bit of detail around those trees at the bottom, because there's quite a bit of foliage around there, and it's all getting hit by this beautiful sun. All right. Now, can you see I'm trying to keep all the focus on this tunnel? Which is, I don't want to go too high. We do have some of this hitting, where it hit and missed through the trees, where the sun can get through. But I don't want loads. Right, now the best bit. Now, we've not touched any sky. It doesn't really matter what colour you do this, but I'm going to suggest just a mid plain or mid light blue. We don't want, it's not down to any detail. I've just chosen a really pale blue. Okay, so now just very lightly with these pastels, they are very soft, just start picking your way through. Okay. And there actually is a little bit down here. So immediately you start seeing the sky coming through. There is 1 or 2 bits around here. You may need to revisit these. Very rarely do you get them right first time. But this is the exciting bit. This is where the magic happens. When you can find a square bit or a straight bit on your pastel, that is. So just be aware of what you're painting. Look at your picture and use it for reference. So how does that sky come through that tree? How do the leaves react? That's what you're looking for. Now here we've actually got quite a light bit there, and up here. Okay, so just a matter of building it up. A little bit up there. So use your picture for reference to show you how it's actually working. Don't worry too much about that. Just going to drop some down there. Right. Okay, so you start getting the light coming through. It's absolutely amazing how it transforms a picture. And these are the details that we're putting in. Now that's the side of that tree. I'm not too worried, but there's a little bit this side. There's quite a bit coming through here. Make sure the trees are tapering, so make that one slightly thinner. And then we've got a little bit at the top here. Again, use your picture as a reference. And if you don't like what you've done, or you just need to go over it with the dark or the green and reintroduce these eye holes. Sky holes, eye holes, air holes, whatever you want to call them. But they're the sky poking through the trees. And with this medium, it's just a pleasure to do this. It's absolutely amazing to make that work. And it's just building it up. And like I say, if you don't like what's happening, then you change stuff. This has to make a little bit more sense. Just going to drop down there. Right, now, if what you're doing is sort of in your face a little bit, what you need to do is try and get rid of the stuff off your fingers. Dry it off, and then just touch it, just so it's not quite so bright. Okay, there's still quite a bit of light coming through here. Like I say, very rarely do you do this and you get it right first time, so it's just about just keep doing it, keep looking at it, walk away, come back, have another look. And eventually the picture will just pop for you. And it's the best way I can describe it. It's like it's almost like an epiphany. And I've done it enough times, obviously, to know that it's going to work. You will struggle at first, and you'll be thinking, "Oh my word, this ain't doing it," and then all of a sudden, it pops. And oh yeah, I can see that. Look at your picture from a distance. Try looking at it in a mirror. Some artists turn it upside down. You do all sorts of these silly little things just so that you don't see it with the same eye that you've been seeing it while you've been painting it. Because sometimes some things will work and others they don't work, and it's like, oh, what have I done different? But you need to see it with different eyes. So we've got the sky coming through. Some just little bits up there that I've missed, and then there's just little dots coming through there. It's fairly dense at the top. There is a little bit of light coming through. But yes, that that now starts to look like, you've seen me do it, so you can do it. But you've seen me put the air holes in. Now, they then start to replicate all this air that's coming through these trees. Okay? If you've done too many, like maybe on there, I've maybe made them a little bit thick, although I wanted to try and get the light coming through. Go over it with green. Start again. You might have to do that initially anyway for the first couple of tries of doing it. Right, now we need this light green, and I'm going to have to use a different, let's see if this, no, that's not bright enough. I want the luminous of a bright green. I know where there is one. One I always fall back to is, and it's a Sennelier. It's very, very pale. I've got an even paler one than that. But I'm just gonna have a go with this. That's the colour. And this is where you need just dots. I'm not replicating this picture. I don't want to replicate the picture, otherwise I take a photograph. What I'm doing is I'm representing what I see, and I'm focusing on what I want to focus on. That's why we're artists. That's why, we change the viewer's perspective of something and bring it to their attention in a photo, in a painting. So that's basically what I see my job is, to bring nature and everything that it has to offer is amazing. But people don't look, but they might look at a painting. So to have this in your living room sometimes is, I don't know, it brings to life nature, doesn't it? I mean, that's what we're doing. And I'm waffling again, so I'm going to shut up. Right, okay, so I'm just putting some of those really nice bright leaves in there that are coming through from the, just rises up just a little bit. There are a few over here. They're in between, so right. There's some just going over that tree there, so I'm just gonna make that happen. Give it a little bit of 3D there. A little bit of green within that yellow. I mean, you're thinking it was July, and I mean, think their summers and everything are very similar to ours, Germany. So, we're in full leaf with the trees, and they've gone from the bright green. Apart from this has obviously got the sun on it, but they've gone from the bright green to a slightly darker green. This is the toxins in it, apparently. Stop, insects and bugs and that eating the nice new shoots, new leaves. They put toxins in the leaves, the trees do, and that turns them the darker green that we see. Oh, you didn't know you were having a nature lesson too, did you? Right, okay. There's some of these bright greens up here. Are we keeping the tunnel? That's what you've got to keep asking you. Are you keeping the tunnel? And I can see that that's lighter, way lighter in the middle there too. So I'm going to go a little bit lighter in the form of, it's a cream. Right, and I'm going to mix that. And I know we haven't touched on mixing pastels on the paper, but I am just going to mix this with the colour underneath to give me the luminous I need for those bright spaces in the centre. So I'm mixing them in to the colour underneath. It will just help to lift. Can you see that? It's just lifting the colour, so it's the colour underneath plus this cream on top. And I really do just blend it in. Right. So I don't want this bright. I really want it just a lighter colour than what's underneath. And you can see how we're now getting the sun coming through that gap and hitting that. There's few leaves, trees on the edge. Right, now then, what have we got left to do? Well, what I want to do is pick up some of the highlights on the fence, which is not too bright, to be fair, but it's there. So all I'm going to do is just touch it. You see that? Remember, it's the sun shining from here, so it's whatever's on the top. And we could, if you've done them, just go down the posts. And I don't want to do every one because the sun is not on every one. So this is where you use your reference. And this is where you could just pick up a couple of posts and the bottoms. Sometimes the bottoms are showing a bit of highlight as well. Right, I think we need a couple there, maybe one at the top, and a little bit of the bar at the top. Right, okay, I'm not going to, I don't want to go mad there, but what I do want to do is just pick out the insides. Right, okay. Yep, and there's some bright sunshine where it's coming through the gap, almost hiding that post. And again, we did it blue, that's fine, but I just want to make it a little bit brighter. And we just need to sort out that where it goes around the corner. Yeah, that's better. Just want to make it a little bit brighter there. Okay. Right, now then, when we talked about light and dark, we've got the light there, but we've also got a lighter value at the back there. Can you see that? And if you look on the photograph, which is just a reference I'm using this for, but if you look there, it's dark behind this light, which is why this light isn't working. Right, so there's two lights together. So what you need to do is get a dark, and I'm going to do it with this just so that you can see the difference. And it's it's a big difference. I could go slightly lighter, but I'm not going to do. I'm going to use this real dark. You watch that tree there. The side of the bank in there. You watch it come alive. And it goes in a little bit. I want it to start to go around that corner. Okay, now I need that other colour, which is this one. And I'm just make that disappear. Around there. Just going to rub that in a little bit. And now you can see that the light on this bush here, you can see it against the dark of the background there. I'm just going to bring one or two bits back off it. You're putting something behind, you tend to lose it. Right. Okay, now you can see the edge. Can you see that? And that's only because I've put the dark behind. Good exercise, that. Pleased with that. There is one or two, not that colour. I'm going to do a slightly darker colour than that limey green, just so that it just suggests that these are they've got leaves on. It's as simple as that. All right, just to suggest there is leaves. No, I'm doing hit and miss, and I'm just doing dots like this. Can you hear that? That's all I'm doing. But it just stops it being one mass of colour and just gives it some form in that area there. It's got to be a dull green, can't be a bright green, which is why I changed, because this is in shadow. So remember, we have to make sense of everything. And we've got sky coming through there, so just want to do a couple of things to that sky. It helps sometimes when you're near the branches at the bottom. It helps to do dashes opposed to dots, because it's suggesting that there's branches there. Okay, so that works. Okay, I can see a little bit more of this yellow just up there, and again up there. Remember, I want to keep the focus on that tunnel, so I don't take this colour too far away, but it does help to balance the picture. You just want to bring it in a little bit more. You've got a few up here, believe it or not. It's reflecting on some of the bark up there and some of the leaves. So just like you do the sky holes, I'm just going to do some little dots, but not many. You can see it through there. You can see it through here. It is reflecting around there, but I don't want that. It's not my focus. All right. So I'm just doing some. Remember, the sun's on this side, so you will get some right, and a few. Well, I need some sky holes in there. Not many. Not many of these either, but there is some light bits up there where the sun's just catching it. Right, so let's just finish what I've just said, and there's some sky holes needed up there. Few missed. But again, just dots. And maybe just follow it down just to follow some sort of branches that could be happening.